So we get us a Friday the 13th show here in Atlantic City. August 13th, 2021. This is night number one, and we get a little bit of a local feel to start the show. I believe Trey said it was like a local favorite or something with cars, trucks, and buses, the opener tonight. Then we move on to AC, DC Bag, of course, you know, the AC reference there. And then Blaze On, our first little heater of the night, coming there. And again, the On the Beach reference. Then we move on past that after the Jam On, and or after the Jam and the Blaze On. Get a Wolfman's brother, Mike, really coming strong with that kind of just that springy, bouncy sound that Mike brings a little bit. And then at some point in the Jam, he's really rolling with that. Paige kind of links up with him, and they're just kind of killing the Jam there a little bit. And then that Jam ends, you know, not the same as some of the other jams from the type of jams like I've been mentioning that really made me love Wolfman. So they're wrapping up the Jam. They kind of go back into Wolfman's to give it a proper finish. Then they kind of just race through this peak, you know, I don't know, kind of like they did in 46 Days the other day. Like they get to a pretty good Jam. Then they wrap it up the song, and then it's like, oh yeah, we didn't really peak this one like we usually do. And then they give it a shot there, you know. So Wolfman's another one that's possibly suffering from some long haul symptoms here, just not quite getting it done. And we got a lot of three-peats tonight. Wolfman's the first of the three-peats, and then Moses DeWitt takes the mic here for I Didn't Know, takes the vacuum and the mic. And then we get a funky bitch after that. We get a riff after that. The riff was probably better than the riff that we just got recently there in Deer Creek. That was a bit of a stinker. And then they end the set strong, of course, with Sand. You know, Sand almost always going to deliver. Same kind of thing, though. Maybe not, you know, not the type of jams that we were getting pre-pandemic, but still a very strong Sand. Blaze On, too, you know, again, maybe a little bit overplayed. We're getting sick of Blaze On, but it delivers almost every time. And then, of course, you had to get it down there on the beach. So now let's get to the second set. This is really business time here, all right? This is what we wanted. So we get started with the Tweezer. That's a good start. That's what we're looking for. And then we get it's kind of like it had Page's Always Wanted This Way vibe, you know? So we get a Tweezer there, and it was like, all right, that was a very good Tweezer. You know, not to compare everything, but probably not as good as our previous Tweezer. Same thing with the Gin. They hit this repetitive part in Gin that was really cool. And maybe these weren't these big monster jams that Tweezer and Jim were previously, but if you put them both together, we got off to a pretty good start right there. Kind of combine them jams, and then Everything's Right. Tried to make it a bit of a threesome there, but the Jam and Everything's Right just wasn't quite getting it. In fact, they kind of take it, they go into Possum with it. You know, you could hear Possum coming a little bit. Had a little bit, I mean, look, it beats a ballad, all right? You know, I can take a Possum or two a tour, but middle of the second set, I guess that's better than ending the set. So we get that, and yeah, like I said, much better than a ballad right there. We get a 2001, a little herky-jerky 2001 to start, but then finally once it gets going, you know, you could probably count this as a little combo. That's a weird combo, Possum 2001, but it kind of seemed like the jamming was over after this Everything's Right. Then we go into Rise Come Together. You know, during the Tweezer and Gin, when it was really hitting the spot, it felt like a Hood type of night. By the time we get through this Rise Come Together, it was like, it's going to be a Hood night, but not like a two thumbs up Hood kind of night. And Hood, once again, a good Hood, but, you know, just not hitting the spot like Hood has. You know, Hood was absolutely dominating, had kind of a resurrection there in 18 and 19. Similar to Wolfman's, could have some long haul symptoms, even worse possibly for Hood. And then you get the Moron, you know, the more set closer. I think we've gotten a couple of set closers out of Moore now. We got a set opener, and like I mentioned, we got some three-peats. So then, of course, Loving Cup. You know, I was kind of on fire all alone tonight making calls. Loving Cup. I don't know why the fuck I circled that. That doesn't deserve that. There we go. You know, I don't know. I was on fire I was way off on the opener, but during this Gin or Tweezer, I was like, oh, this is a Hood kind of night. And then Loving Cup. Once we got through this Hood, once they decided, oh, that was not a Hood, that was not a set closing Hood. Let's hit them with a more. So then it was like, here comes Loving Cup. Oh boy. So it's just night one. You know, night one in Deer Creek was a mofo. Sunday night. So maybe we're getting back to this. You know, maybe Friday isn't Sunday. Tomorrow could still be cool. All right. You know, I feel like the Sharpie's back in action. Unfortunately, it was just an alright show. I don't know. I hate to be, you know, whatever. Boom.